Monique, thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate you taking the time, and I'd love to ask you to just briefly introduce yourself.
My name is Monique Elwell. I am Storyvine's co-founder. I'm also their president and chief operating officer.
Can you maybe tell us a little bit about what the objectives are for Storyvine? What does Storyvine do, and how is it improving life in the world?
Sure. So we are 11 and a half years old. Like it just went by in a blink of an eye. In that time, I had a child. uh, and he's much more grown now, as you've seen, because we've had a relationship for so long that you've seen him when he was a little guy and now he's 10. But we are a video technology platform that allows our clients to film videos at scale. So we have an app that you guys built. We have a backend platform that you also built. And Storyvine takes our customers and allows them to film different types of use cases, whether it's a customer testimonial or any kind of marketing communication or training. And our clients film using that app, and then the videos go up into the backend system in a controlled fashion. We serve a variety of different industries, but the largest industry that we serve is the pharmaceutical industry. So we're able to address all of their regulation. What we do is we bring authenticity and realism, frankly, to the world of video, which is often, not always, but often overly scripted and overly polished so that it doesn't really look believable. And what that allows is our customers' testimonials and our customers' communication. They bring back that human element that is really missing often in a lot of marketing communications. And therefore, it's more believable and often more actionable.
To talk a little bit about outsourcing product development, why did you decide to outsource?
So we started out kind of with so Storyvine was originally built by another outsourced company here locally. And we in the early years had, I want to say, about 3 different outsourced companies. We also tried insourcing, and there were issues with both, right? So in the American firms, while the technical skill was very high, the demand was also very high. So it was extremely difficult to find a group that wasn't getting poached. So a lot of times our lead developers were then given jobs they couldn't refuse at another company if it was an outsourced firm. It was also unbelievably expensive. It was difficult to find local talent. I don't know what the current statistic is, but at that time, I think the unemployment rate for technical developers was like negative 10% or something like that.
Right.
Like basically, if you had the slightest bit of skills, you were scooped up immediately and you didn't even necessarily have to be that good. But our biggest complaint was the communications and the project management that we had with the local developers. And then when we went hybrid, we realized, or tried to bring in-house, we realized the skill set that we needed was so varied. We really needed 9 part-time people, and that was unrealistic. And at that point, we were introduced to you guys, and we took a bid out to a bunch of other companies. And we unquestionably, we went with Oaks. Like you were by far head and shoulders above the rest.
And so in the decision-making process, and then through the experience of working with us, what made us stand out over other options that you were considering?
Yeah. And so a bunch of things, when you outsource abroad, your first concern is, oh my God, are they going to speak English, right? The English, quality at Oaks is pretty much native, or close enough where the idioms, the jokes, like we are able to fully converse with whomever you have put in front of us. So that's never, ever a concern. And that's always sort of table stakes. Second, the technical prowess is, unparalleled, right? This is a group of people that you have curated and put together that not only started with a wonderful skill set, but I'm constantly hearing about how the Oak staff is leveling up. Like, hey, I got internal training. We did this new process. We're applying this new thing. I'm learning. Somebody else is mentoring me. The passion for leveling up internally and also a sense of humility is something you don't necessarily see. Like there's a culture that you have created that I think is, just evident in the 8 years we've been working together. We've been working together forever.
Terrific.
But if there's one thing that I have to say is the reason that we will never, ever, ever switch, it's because of your project management skills, right? And
Thank you.
that's not something you think is all that important when you're initially buying technology development services, because you want the technical prowess to be there. But anytime I've ever had a technical launch fail, it's because of project management, not because the technical component was bad, but because of the project management. So the communication and the project management has been unparalleled at Oaks.
And to talk more about your experience working with us, were there any specific aspects of our service that you especially appreciated outside of our project management focus? But were there some things that really stood out to you that you really appreciated?
The technical capability, especially in the AI space. So we are building out, as you know, a really amazing I guess, AI layer to what Storyvine already does, where we're taking video and then scaling out the type of content that you can produce from it. So, you throw in it, you upload a video, and our system sort of barfs all this other type of content now, like, tweets, or I guess they're called X's now, LinkedIn posts, all sorts of social posts, blog posts, translated video, whatever. We're producing all of this content, and we've really struggled because we're in the pharmaceutical space with data control. Privacy is huge for us. The confidentiality and where that data chain of command is critical for us. And we were really struggling a lot because this is AI. A lot of these AI companies do not have good terms of service or privacy policy. So if you upload your data or your client's data, God only knows where it goes. Like, it could be released to the public. Legally, there's no recourse, right? Again, we also follow GDPR. And our attorney, we were at a meeting, I think it was a board meeting, and our attorney said, hey, one of our other clients is doing something to solve for this, and they do it with Azure, and they spend a ton of money, but you might want to look into that. So we mentioned that to Peter, and 24 hours later, he's like, I've solved the problem. I can do this. And I mean, right there, that was a $200,000 savings. So yeah, I can go on if you like.
And if you were supposed to characterize Oaks Lab within 3 words, what would these 3 words be?
I hate these exercises.
It's one of those questions.
I know. I actually do have notes. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Optimize, technical prowess, and heart.
That's a great combination. Thank you. And I think these words are really important when you're working with startups. So thank you. Last question. Is there any other feedback or insight that you'd like to share with our audience about the partnership with Oaks Lab?
Yeah, the way that I think about Oaks is I think of them as curators, right? And here's what I mean by that. We live in a world where we can get any kind of food possible right now. Like, we can get bananas in the middle of winter, or pineapples or whatnot, because everything can be flown in. But you go to a place like Whole Foods if you want to have the best quality ingredients. And you could go to a regular grocery store and you could get something, and it may not be the best pineapple, or you may not even be able to get a pineapple. But if you go to Whole Foods, you know that pineapple is the best. And if it's not the best, you know that you can return it, and they will take it back hands down and make certain that the quality of what they're providing you is really the best. That's because Whole Foods curates what they bring into their stores. And I feel like Oaks Lab is that curation. You have the ability to bring in the best technical talent and also train them to make them even better. And then you have this wonderful cultural overlay, which makes them love their jobs and love working for Oaks and really going above and beyond. Like, there have been several instances where, we had a problem at 3:00 in the morning your time, and by golly, I think that was McCall, stayed up all night trying to fix a huge problem where our technical system didn't work out right. It's rare, of course, that our system ever breaks, but there was that one time, and it had more to do with the client's Wi-Fi. But anyway, but really, I kind of see Oaks as kind of the Whole Foods of technical stuff, and not even with the outsized price tag either. When I've gone to bids, you guys were right in line with everybody else from a cost standpoint. So Whole Foods, but without the upcharge.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Monique. Thank you for taking your time to do this. We really, really appreciate our partnership with Storyvine, and we hope to work with you for many years in the future and get you to that successful exit.
Awesome. Thank you guys.